a lot of my fishing buddies back in the 70s and early 80s had mounts on the wall. And actually, there's a fish up there. See that big fiberglass fish on the wall? That's the fish that got me into business. That's the one in 1984 when my fishing buddy Jackie won the Derby, and I took second with that fish. That was a 45-pounder. And I used to, sit at my fishing buddy's house during the winter when we weren't fishing, and I used to just look at his mount and go, oh, I want a 50-pounder. I wish I had a mount on my wall, when it was snowing outside, and I'd just dream of fishing. So when we won the Derby, that was the last year they had bass in the Derby, and of course I always wanted a 50-pounder, but it was 45. I thought, well, I better have it mounted. So I shipped the fish. We went over to Falmouth, and there was a man named Wally Brown, and he was the best in New England, and he did all fiberglass reproduction. So it took me about a year to get my fish back, and when I got it back, it's beautiful. I looked at it, it's like, this is beautiful, but I really wanted a skin mount. So I was working in the restaurant business at the time, as you remember.
Where?
I was working at the Home Port, and after 25 years of working in the restaurant business, and I was in my mid-30s, and I was getting to the point where it was time to either just get into management. My old legs were hurting after running around like a little monkey at the Home Port. So I thought, I was looking for something different to do. So I thought about, well, maybe I could be a skin taxidermist. And actually I talked to Spider Andresen and Kib Bromhall, who I loved Kib Bromhall. When I first started fishing, I worked with his daughters at Helios, and he was just one of my heroes. So I remember they came in for dinner one night, and I told them, I'm thinking about, what would you think if I went to school to become a taxidermist? And they thought it was a great idea. Arnold Spofford actually helped me to find the school. He gave me some magazines. And I found the Pennsylvania Institute of Taxidermy. It was the closest one to home, and I called them, and they were the only ones that would let me specialize in fish. I told them I don't hunt. There's already some guys off island doing deer head. We don't have a lot of species here, and would they allow me to just specialize in fish? And so they said, yeah, come on. They said, well, we mostly do freshwater fish, but we can teach you how to do saltwater fish. If I look in, I have some beautiful old taxidermy books, and they talk about when somebody came into a taxidermy shop, the taxidermist put away his tools. For a long time, taxidermists didn't want to share any information.
Like fishermen.
Exactly like fishermen. It was great. I learned in 8 weeks what a lot of taxidermists spent 20 years trying to learn.
What was the first fish you did?
Oh my God. Johnny Hoy gave me, I think, a 54-pound bass that he had caught. And Bob Post, my dear friend Bob Post, gave me, I think it was a 19-pound bluefish that he won the Derby with. I said, no, I'm not ready for this at all. Because when I went to school, I brought a few small bluefish, which at school they thought they were just the weirdest fish, because they were nothing like the largemouth bass and all the freshwater fish. They were so sweet. Bob Post was so sweet to me. He said, I trust you. He said, I know that you'll do a good job. But I tell you, that first bass that I worked on, they gave us some tools at school, a little scalpel and some little clippers and all these little tools. I worked on those first fish with those little tools. The right tool for the right job. It took me a while to figure out that you can use the same tools but much bigger to work on these fish.
Did they both turn out well?
Johnny Hoy's fish, well, it had a little bit of a smell in it, because I think there's some place way in the head that I didn't get to. There was probably a little chunk of meat there somewhere. He didn't care. It really came out beautiful. I mean, when I saw it again, I thought, oh my God, this fish came out good. Bob's bluefish, the shape of it isn't what I'm really proud of, but, for my very first bluefish, it wasn't bad, and he loved it. He really loved it.